Hello YouTube, this is Magma Rhino, and right here I have the Asus Transformer dock, which I just got for Christmas. So I will be doing an unboxing and a review of it. First of all, here's a look at the box. Front's just a picture, bottom is another picture from another angle, then just the name stuff all around the sides, and on the back you've got the generic barcode information and other stuff. This box looks identical to that of the Asus Transformer. Same exact size, pretty much the same layout, actually exactly the same layout. So I mean, obviously they put a lot of thought into making these identical, making them look like they really do go together. So I give them props for that. Here, first of all, is the tablet dock right on top. It comes in a plastic coating with a sticker here, but I took both off, and I think I threw them out, so sorry, otherwise I would have put them back on. But that plastic's always fun to peel off for the first time. And then here you also got your user manual, but nobody cares. It doesn't actually come with a charging cable, so don't expect it to. So don't expect it to come with one, and don't be disappointed when you find out it doesn't, because you can just use the original one right here, and I will get to that later. First off, as far as making them look like they go together, look at the back, and it is exactly the same texture as the Asus Transformer here. As you can see, same color, same texture. So, I mean, obviously, Asus put a lot of effort into making these exactly the same and make them look like they go together. The build quality on this is excellent. I'd say it's actually better than the tablet, because here you got this metal plate on the surface as well as below the keys here. This is all, I'm guessing, aluminum. It's very nice. It does smudge a little bit, but who cares? The back is the same kind of plastic, but it has much less give than the Transformer did. When you push on it, it doesn't give at all. And it feels very sturdy. Twisting it, it has a little bit of give, but I mean, there's not much in there, so you can't really get mad at it. This hinge here, it's very tight, but when the Transformer's in it and you're moving it from the top, physics and all that, it makes it a lot easier to move, and it's actually the perfect amount of tightness for the hinge, I guess you could say. Also, the mechanism is very stable. I will get to that shortly. As far as ports and indicators goes, it has two USB ports, one here with a magnetic flap, which you do need to get a strategy to get them off. I'm not even kidding. They are tricky the first few times, but as you can see, I got it right away, because a good strategy I use is I put my thumb in here, and then I get my pointer finger, and I kind of just pull it back, and then it's open. Because if you try to just get them open by doing that, it's usually hard, because it is a magnetic latch. Anyway, here you have an SD card slot, and in this slot is a dummy SD card. On the other side, you have another USB port, as well as the 40-pin connector. Now, indicators, you have two. You have one LED here. This is a green and a red light. When you're charging, it's solid red. When it's charged fully, it is solid green. And when the battery is below, I believe 10% or 5%, I forget, it flashes red to let you know. I believe it's 5%, because I'll get to that later why it is. You also have an indicator for the caps lock right here, which I will show you once I plug it in, because it doesn't light up when it's not plugged in. Now I'm going to go to connecting the two. Just check the notes. Yeah. So to connect them, you got the 40-pin connector on the two latches here, and that plugs into there. This hinge, it's got the two walls, and it's also kind of got this nice felt on the inside, so you don't have to worry about it scratching your device. To put it in, you pretty much just line it up. You line up these edges and these edges, make sure it's nice and straight, and you push down. Simple as that. People have been complaining that it's like blindly shoving it in, but trust me, you line up these edges, it's going to go in first time, every time, not a problem. When it's latched, this thing slides to the right and stays to the right. When you want to undock, you just slide it to the left, pull it out. And it's as simple as that. So I'll put it back in now. Again, not a problem. Let me just first go over the keyboard here. It is a 92% sized keyboard. So it is a little bit different than usual, but it takes like a minute to get used to. And once you get used to it, it's fine. No worries. The keys, they're pretty clicky. So I mean, they're pretty nice to use. You get good feedback. You know if you pushed or not. It's not going to be like a shot in the dark if you pushed it. Also, some key shortcuts like Control A to select all work, as you can see. Then Control X to cut it, and Control V to paste, or you can copy and paste too. And Control Z doesn't do anything. So Control X, C, and V do work if you do like to use those shortcuts a lot. As far as buttons out of the ordinary goes, you get, on the bottom row, you get a home button here, you get a search button, and you also get a menu button. And this shift key is shrunk a little bit to fit these arrows in. But that's really not a big deal if you don't use that shift like I don't. But some people do, they don't get used to it, they hit the arrow instead. Sorry, but you're just going to have to adapt to it. Then along the top, it's got a bunch of shortcut keys instead of the usual function keys. So these are a lot more Android friendly. Right here you got a back button, then you have a Wi-Fi toggle, then you have a Bluetooth toggle, then you have a button to disable the trackpad in case you feel like your palms are rubbing against it when you type, so you can quickly disable it and then re-enable it. Next is lowering the brightness, and then the next one's raising the brightness. So the two kind of go together. And then after that is an auto brightness toggle. Next is a screenshot button, which it takes a screenshot right away, but it takes a little for the notification to pop up. There it is. Next is a quick jump to the browser, followed by a quick jump to the settings. And then next is a play, pause, skip track, and then you go back track for music. And then next is the mute toggle, and then the volume toggle. And then the last one is a lock, in case you want to lock it from there for some reason, which, I don't know, I guess they just ran out of buttons to put there. Because you really don't need to use it, because when you close it, it automatically shuts off and turns back on when you open it up. So first of all, I'm not going to show a demonstration, but Flash games do work in the browser. I would recommend you go to full screen. How you do that is you can use your mouse here. You do get a little mouse cursor. It's probably hard to see. Actually, that made it go darker when I put my hand there. But you do get a mouse cursor. The left click is just like a left click, like you can imagine. The right click is not a right click, it's actually a back button. So that makes it a lot easier to go back rather than pushing on screen. Also, you do get multi-touch gestures on here, like slide 2 fingers to the left, it moves the page to the left. Slide 2 fingers to the right, it goes to the right. You can do that with scrolling in the browser, stuff like that. Pretty basic though, nothing out of the ordinary. But it is cool for an Android tablet to have that capability on a laptop attachment. Next, let me just show you the USB connection on a port. So I got a flash drive, zip drive, USB stick, whatever you want to call it, jump drive. Wow, that was bad. People call it billions of different things, so whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to go plug this in. When you plug it in, it will say preparing external storage. Oh, my tablet's okay. Yeah, it's alright. So anyway, when it's got that external storage, it's going to show it up here. As you can see, external storage, whatever thing. You can go to the file browser and you can see all the files on it. And then it just shows up here in your removable memory. This is USB disk 2, USB disk 1, and then SD. And then micro SD is obviously on the tablet. And then it's got, just like for the micro SD, the eject thingy to safely remove your external storage device. Here, let me just show you the caps lock light quickly. So as you can see, it's easy to tell when caps lock is on and when it's off. Next, I'm going to talk about the updates for it. If you're rooted and if you're running a custom ROM, you can actually update the firmware for this for whatever reason. so you have to remove the ROM or unroot it if you want to update the firmware, which I highly suggest you do, because it prevents it from ever forgetting if it's connected or stuff like that. Also, the battery in here is about 2/3 that of the transformer, so to charge both of these together, it takes about 5 hours from them both being dead. This will charge the transformer to about 66% if this is dead and if this is full, and you plug them in. And I got this app called Dual Battery Widget, which is a widget that shows the battery level of both as well as graphs of both. So as you can see, it tells you which one's charging, which one's not, and as well as the battery percentage of each one. How the battery works, in case you were wondering, just for reference purposes or whatever. This battery, as long as it has a charge over 5%, will charge the transformer up to 100, and then whenever it drops below 95%. So if it's plugged in, the transformer drops below 95, it will charge it back to 100. Once the dock gets to 5%, the dock will stop charging the tablet. It will actually take a tiny bit of power from the tablet to power the keys and stuff, and then it will keep this battery at 5%, so you don't have to worry about it damaging the battery inside the dock. So that's a very good feature to have built in. And it's great battery management. Unfortunately, there's some battery drain issue, so when it's in standby like this, the dock battery drains at about 3% an hour, which is pretty atrocious if you think about it. I mean, after about 2 days, it will be dead and you'll be running solely off the transformer battery. But you disconnect them, no battery drain at all. So hopefully that's just a software bug that they can work out quickly. I'm pretty sure that's all. I hope. I don't know. Well, anyway, you got the mouse cursor, you got the full keyboard, all the Android shortcuts, double battery life almost, the 2 USB ports, the SD card slot, the different charging port, and all that stuff. It is definitely worth the extra money. You can still use touch input, in case you were wondering. It does lock the orientation, which is good. For whatever reason, if you were using it upside down, I don't know, never mind. But it locks the orientation when it's docked, which makes sense. And you actually never have to touch the screen if you don't want to. You can do everything using the mouse and trackpad and everything, except for like multi-touch games, but you're not going to be using the dock with it. Whatever, not my problem. So last thing, is it worth it? Yes, it definitely is. Let me just show you a few different views of it. While I'm talking, here's the front. It's worth it. I mean, all the benefits you get from it, and for not a very expensive price more, it's definitely worth it. And I know you're going to say, why can't you just get a netbook for $500 that's more powerful? But I mean, why would you get a netbook for that much when you can have a tablet and a laptop for that much? Sure, it's not as powerful, but it's a lot cooler and a lot more convenient actually to have this. Because say you're just going to go sit on the couch at home, unplug it, and there you go. You just had a much lighter touchscreen tablet. Say you're typing emails, you're typing a paper, you're bringing it to college, wherever, you plug it in and you got a laptop. You really can't go wrong with it. I know, yeah, it is expensive, like I said, but it is definitely worth it. Let me just show you how well they really designed this thing. It lines up perfectly from every angle. It is absolutely perfectly made for this device. As you can see, they've put in every little detail, including the little rubber pieces here to prevent the screen from touching the keys. The hinge has the felt on it. It's also got these stoppers here, rubber feet on the bottom. The texture matches perfectly. I mean, these two were obviously, well, I mean, they were designed to go together, but I mean, they obviously put a lot of thought into making them go together very nicely, and they did a very good job with it. I mean, it just feels like you have an Android netbook right here, even though you can pick it up like this, unplug it, and all of a sudden you only have an Android tablet and just a random keyboard, but whatever. But I mean, my point is, yes, it's worth it, and this is really what sets it apart from every other tablet out there. Sure, it's got the IPS screen, great battery life, all those good features, but I mean, being able to turn it into a laptop really just sets it apart from all the others. and it makes it very worth it to have. So yes, I'd recommend you get it. That's pretty much it. So if you liked this unboxing and review, please give the video a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a lot. Yep. Alright, so thank you very much for watching. I'll see you later.